My name is Steve Godaerns. I'm a 36 years old French photographer based in Tokyo. When I was a kid, I wanted to be an illustrator, and then I shifted this focus towards cinema. I was interested by either the department of photography as a DOP or director position, and the more I got to know the cinema industry and see how much of a big of a team you need and the length of the project from the start to the end, started to realize it was not as much for me. And at that time I started doing photography, and that was about, I think, 18 years ago now. And it became more natural to me to just be on my own and start to make projects happen on a smaller scale, smaller team, but I would see results come up really quickly. So I realized that was a better fit for me. Now I work a lot on bigger projects with bigger teams, so kind of went full circle on that. But in my beginnings, that was for me, the fact that I could create something on my own was the biggest part. And so I was stopped film school, and I became passionate with Japan at the time. I went for a trip, and I met a photographer in Japan, and I thought, what about trying to come here and do it? And it took me years, but now that's what I've been doing for about 7 to 10 years here. My photography style definitely reflects my different influences, maybe from my documentary background. That's how I started, and after that I worked in a photo studio and I worked for a fashion photographer. So I think it's a mix of these kind of beautiful images, but at the same time these little moments that I try to capture. So try to feature more of real emotion, more grit than, I would say, oniric type, like dreamy type of photography. I would say I'm more into the real life side of photography. But yeah, I would say between fashion and documentary, between portrait and documentary would be where I think I'm at. Maybe I'm wrong. I started shooting basketball as a subject when I was living in New York. I'm a very passionate person, and at the time I really got obsessed by basketball. Also watching it on TV for sure, but as a way of working out, because the New York diet kind of got to me, and I was like, I want to exercise, and running was too boring for me. So I started to really just practice all the time, and I thought, why not just start to document the courts, take portraits of players, and that brought me back this original love of documentary photography. And this, as a long-term project, it just started to lead to some more commercial projects with sports brands, and have that passion as a subject is the most amazing thing for me. For camera gear, I use mainly Sony, the A7R5 or R4, just because they're just super reliable and fast, which is great for the type of subject that I usually work with, a lot of movement and kind of big sensor. So if I need to kind of edit a little bit the trimming on post, it's kind of nice to have all this data to work with. But I'm kind of interested to have another type of camera that would be slower, so that could slow me down a bit, and maybe for more like portrait work or more like subject that is not like running or whatever, something that would be more calm. I actually don't use any filter, so it's not something I've been really spending time researching, but I have been always curious about it. So this time being able to try some filters was very interesting experience, and I'm really looking forward going into my little editing room and see how this black mist filter is affecting the look of my images. From what I look through the camera and from behind the screen, of course we're outside, so I don't see everything, but it looks very interesting, and I like the way the highlights looks way more even, and I'm really looking forward to see how it looks, and it might just become something that I really study more and spend more time picking.